Hey aunties, welcome to DESI Diaries, hosted by me, Alina. So I'm going to go right into with the definition of what DESI means, because some of you might not know. So DESI just means one from our country. So that pertains to South Asian countries. So Pakistan, where I'm from, I'm Pakistani American, India or Bangladesh, etc., all the South Asian countries. So that's where the word DESI comes from. I'm gonna go right into who I am, because you guys are probably wondering who the hell is she, and why DESI Diaries. So who I am is a little bit about me. I'll give you my bio data and then you can let me know if you accept or reject me. But so a little bit about me is that I come from a small town in upstate New York, and no, that is nowhere near New York City. A lot of people think that when I say I'm from New York, they're like, oh, you're so bougie and glamorous, like the city, ooh. And I'm like, no. I live in the middle of nowhere. I graduate with like 100 people, and we have like a grocery store and like a very like shitty mall, and that's about it. Now that you know where I was born and raised, I want to tell you about where I went to college. So when I tell you where I went, you will not be surprised because of the name of this podcast. So I went to Rutgers University in New Jersey. I know a lot of people know Rutgers for being super brown, and yes, it is. I can attest to that. It is a very brown school. It's like the student body is like 90% brown, but I loved every minute of it. And sadly, I was part of the class of 2020, so I feel you. I didn't get that crazy senior year experience that everyone talks about, so sad, but it's okay. Just graduated on virtual WebEx. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it. It's fine. And I'm going to tell you why I started this and when I started this idea and how it's come into fruition today as to what you're listening to. So it started off on one of those inspiring ass train rides home from college in February. So I was coming home for the weekend from Rutgers, and I got into this mood where I just was in the zone to do something like inspiring and new and whatever. So I thought about DESI Diaries, and I was like, oh, this is a great concept. And I like wrote up a whole ass like outline for it and what I wanted it to be and blah, blah, blah. And I was looking out the window with the sun setting and the train just chucking away. And I was like, wow, this is a great idea, Lena. Like, wow. And, lo and behold, I did nothing with it. I was just like bored, I guess. And I was like, I'm just going to make this really passionate podcast, and just life got in the way and school got in the way, and I was finishing my senior year, and I just like never got time or, effort to really pursue it. And then here we are, fast forward 4 months or 5 months at this point. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something about this, because your girl's riding that struggle bus with no job. Post-grad, we love, and it's time to do something about it. So I wanted to come back to this project that I was really passionate about, and I feel like I could really empower a lot of young South Asian women with my stories and my life. And this is just a diary. So again, it's just how I'm navigating my 20s and what I'm doing, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing, and that's about it. So that's why, hence the name, DESI Diaries. I'm DESI, and this is my diary. And yeah, so we're going to get into what this podcast is even about, because you're probably wondering, like, what topics is she going to touch? So for the most part, I'm going to keep this very light, airy, positive platform. So we're going to talk about mental health. And I know you're like, okay, that is not a light topic, but we're going to get into topics that are a little bit on the heavy side, like mental health and stigmas and divorce and career pressures in the South Asian community and stuff like that. So yeah, those are more on like the heavier side, but then on the light side, we're going to talk about things that I'm like obsessed with. Bollywood movies. So I'm a Bollywood fiend. Oh my God. I love Bollywood movies. During quarantine, my family and I have a list and we've watched about like 64 Bollywood movies. I'm not kidding. Like, I can post how many I've watched on like social media one day. Like, we are like on a roll. Every night we watch a Bollywood movie, and we like literally don't stop. So that's something we love to do as a family, and I love to do just on my own. And also along with Bollywood movies come Bollywood music. So I love Bollywood music, and I would love to do a segment about Bollywood bops. So I would call it Bollywood bops, and we would just talk about the new like hip songs in Bollywood. So now that we've talked about Bollywood, another hot topic in Desi culture, as we all know, is our food. So of course we have to talk about the food. Oh my God, I love food. I'm such a foodie, and I bet there's so many people out there just like me, like, biryani? Are you kidding me? Like, wow. So that is something I'm definitely going to talk about, is food and like halal restaurants that open up, and my favorite South Asian restaurants, and just like any of the Desi restaurants that I love or that I've heard about. So I would love to like share those with you, and you guys should share them with me. So that's something I'm excited to talk about. Fashion. My mom actually, again, is like so hip, low-key, and super stylish, and she always knows what's trendy and stuff. So we grew up like always caring about the aesthetics and like the trends and stuff because of our mom. So that's something I really like to talk about, is like trendiness and being a trendy queen. We're gonna talk about boys, because we love a good brown F-boy. Yes, I know we all get trapped in that. And I want to talk about like college crazy stories and things I've learned in college, and also just like big sis advice for anyone that's like incoming into college. So stuff like that. Okay, so obviously you can't have a podcast without guests, right? So I have a little segment that I'm going to be calling Chit Chat. It's so freaking cute. Like, are you kidding? So I can't wait for that. And I'm going to have all types of people on there, friends, family, South Asian celebrities, if I pop off like that. Just people in the South Asian community that are making a difference in their own community or in the world or anything. So I want to end off all my podcasts with a quote. So this is something that I have to give my sister Isla credit for, because she's like the really deep person. She's so philosophical. She reads all these books. She's low-key a nerd, but she's also like hella cool. So I have to give her credit for this, because I was having like a little cry fest, and she always makes me feel better, not only with her words, but also like quotes she finds, and you know, like empowering words that she finds online, Instagram. She says them herself. So one quote that I'm going to leave you guys with today is something that she said to me when I was recently just like frustrated about life and how things weren't going my way. So she sent me a quote that really kind of like stuck with me, and I feel like it might stick with people that might be going through something right now, or to share with a friend or family member that needs to hear this. So she said, she sent this to me. "You are exactly where you are meant to be. Let go of the self-doubt and fear of being lost in life. Everything you are experiencing is meant for you. You are meant to be right here, right now. It is no accident that you are reading these words. Let this be your sign that everything is okay. You are on the right path. You will end up exactly where you are meant to be in life. Just breathe and relax." So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for listening to the DESI Diaries podcast, and I can't wait to see you. Well, I won't see you, but I can't wait for you to come back next week for another episode. So for now, bye, aunties.